I read something by El Shakaide recently and it really resonated with me. He spoke about not accepting every gift. You see, people carry their own issues, pain, trauma and projections. Sometimes what they throw at you isn't really about you, it's about what's broken in them. And I know it hurts the most when it comes from people that are close to you, maybe family. But if you receive it, it becomes yours. If you reject it, it stays with them. There's this movie I watched where the main character had been abused by his father since childhood, emotionally and physically. And even as an adult, his father kept being cruel. You could tell he was deeply wounded, and because of that, he kept lashing out. Every time his father did or said something hurtful, he reacted with anger. His reactions weren't coming from strength, they were coming from a deep place of hurt. It was like he had built his identity around that pain. The abuse had shaped him so much that his responses were no longer just reactions, they were habits. He had accepted those toxic gifts his father kept giving him: anger, shame, bitterness. And even though the abuse wasn't his fault, also that was how much space it still took up inside of him. The devil is constantly trying to handle things that don't belong to us, through people's projections, through past trauma, through words meant to harm. He'll try to attach those lies to our identity, and if we don't recognize it for what it is, we'll carry those lies like they are truths. That's what the guy in the movie was doing, carrying what was never his to own. And the enemy tries in that. He tries when we don't know who we are. He tries when we react instead of respond, when we internalize pain instead of laying it down before God. It reminded me that healing starts when we recognize this is not mine to carry. And the more we anchor ourselves in who God says we are, the less room we give to the lies, to the pains or projections of others, no matter how long we've been hearing them. He also mentioned Jesus and asked a question. He asked, what if he had accepted the cruel gifts the Roman soldiers offered, through mockery and violence? In trying to reclaim an honor he never lost, he might have acted in ways that truly would have cost him his honor. That is why identity matters. That is why studying the Bible is so important. The more you know who you are in Christ, the more peace you carry, and the more power you have over your response. Healing begins when we recognize that our identity doesn't come from people, and it definitely doesn't come from pain. It comes from God. For me, silence has become a weapon, not out of fear, but out of confidence. I don't need to respond to everything. I don't need to prove anything. Because when I stay silent, I'm rooted in who God says I am. I rise above the noise, and honestly, people who come at you will end up feeling foolish, because most of the times our response is what satisfies them and keeps them going. So here's what I'm learning: guard your heart, don't accept every gift, and go deeper into the word. That is where your identity